Hi.
And just like that, we have a theme tune. Good evening, folks.
Good
We are
evening.
back again.
John's very happy because it's deadline day.
I fucking love deadline day. For as long as
It's
I can remember,
great.
while I work at home, TV on. Jeff Stelling is in my house every year on deadline day, January and summer. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. And there's
Yeah,
always a
I've
against.
been at work all day, and this is the first time I haven't had a screen nearby with deadline day news on it because I'm watching the Chelsea and West Ham game, and we'll be keeping you informed throughout. But yes, deadline day, it's fucking delicious, isn't it? And
It's
this was a busy
fun.
day.
It's
Busy
been
day today.
it has been busy. I don't know where we want to actually start with this, but I think there's one team that I want to start with because they've won deadline day. They went and sold John Duran for all of the money. After last week, we said he's not worth 57. They sold him for 70, and then they reinvested that money on Donny Mallon, Marcus Rashford, which, by the way, is in the blog. I got that one right. Thank you very much.
Well
And
done.
Well
then
played.
in the last few minutes, they have gone and signed Marco Asensio on loan.
Did they pay any loan fee for Rashford, or are they just covering his wages?
I think they've paid a small loan fee. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but the rumor is about 45 million with a 40 million option to buy in the summer.
I was about to say is that there's something like a 40 million option to buy, which for someone like Rashford,
Seems
that's
low.
good. That's good fucking business by Villa. That's
Lads, if
very
John
very
Duran-
good business.
If John Duran went for 70 million, then Marcus Rashford, like even if it continues to go a bit badly for him, even if he slides a little bit like Raheem Sterling, you'd still pay 40 million for Raheem Sterling. You know what I mean? 40 seems low by today's numbers for that level of a player, for that size of a club like Villa, who aren't really a Titan yet. It's a good purchase, I think, if we see the Marcus Rashford of old and not the Marcus Rashford of this year.
Of the last 18 months. He's had run-ins now with two managers about his nights out. His head doesn't see everything that you hear about ex-players and stuff who've spoken to him. Like Wayne Rooney said on the overlap, it's like I've spoken to him a few times recently and said he probably needs to leave for his own self and sanity. So there's obviously some bits in the background that people don't necessarily know about, or just his own headspace or life or whatever it might be. But maybe it's the best thing for him, a new environment, a fresh start.
You'd expect a manager like Emery as well to be able to handle that sort of outside of the football world type stuff. You know, that other personal stuff or whatever it is that Rashford's going on. Emery will be able to handle that. I think that is, to be honest with you, I think this is the best bit of business from a team since Liverpool sold Coutinho and brought in Van Dijk and Alisson.
I think it's the best loan signing since West Ham got Jesse Lingard, and he ripped up the Premier League for that second half of the season. I think that's what happens here with Rashford. He gets that new lease of life and shows the ball.
I think that's what happens with Asensio.
Yeah, actually, can we talk about him?
Who is he?
So
Marco Asensio, formerly of PSG and Real Madrid. You know, the sort of players that you would actually... Yeah, exactly, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
That is the reaction.
Is that a loan or a buy?
It's a loan.
It's a loan, and I think there's an option to buy. I don't know what the option to buy is, but if you give me a second, I can find it.
From what I could see, from what I was seeing, it looked quite decent. So, Jimmy, for context here, he played in that Madrid team, the Zidane era Madrid team that won all of the Champions Leagues. And Zidane once said about him, he has the best left foot that I have seen since Lionel Messi, and that's coming out of the mouth of Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah.
You know,
this fella
football.
This fella could be all right, like, yeah?
He's more than all right. He just happens to be a cog in the wheel of a team that contained Ronaldo, Benzema, Bale, won 4 Champions Leagues, Ramos and Duran, and you have Zidane going, this is a player we need. They nearly Real Madrid tried to sell him 2 or 3 times during Zidane's time at Madrid, and every time he went, absolutely not. He's my guy. So the time came for him to go to PSG, and it just hasn't worked out there. Like, he's played very little football this year. They're trying to be the post Mbappe era. It's been a bit of a transitional season for PSG, but he scored 2 and got 4 assists. So he's got
2 goals, 4 assists, and 12 appearances so far. And the reason, look, John is right. The reason PSG are getting rid of him is they're looking to reduce down their wage bill. They're changing their whole Galacticos approach to things. You can see that they're looking to bring in kind of younger players, more hungry and whatnot.
They want to be the.
But this is a lad.
The Clairefontaine Academy. Like France have one of the best ecosystems for player production. They have the Clairefontaine setup just outside the Parisian Bowl. So all the best ballers from Paris basically go there to play. And they're basically hoping to do that kind of what you see in a lot of places in Spain around the Basque region stuff, where they go, we're the club of the region and we take the best and brightest from Paris and the wider basin. Basically, they're looking to be the team that gets the next generation of French World Cup winners coming through their academies.
Cool.
Exactly.
Got it. Sounds.
But this is a lad who's won. This lad has won multiple La Ligas. He's won the French league with PSG. He's won multiple Champions Leagues. He's a European Championship winner with Spain at underage level. Sorry, I'm keeping an eye on deadline day. He's won the Nations League with Spain. He's like this guy is a serial winner. He is
Going to Villa.
He's in the mold. He's in the mold of Coutinho. If you look at a player, he's similar in that style of play. He's just more. He's left-footed rather than right-footed. He's kind of in that type of mold.
Sorry, just forgive me. I'm not very well versed in Villa's defense because they haven't shone up on my numbers dashboard at all this year. Who loses out? Is it Dini?
No, he's a attacking midfielder. So
no, he's attacking midfielder.
What you're going to see here is a team.
Okay.
You're going to see Watkins through the middle. You're probably going to have
Asensio on one side, and
I think Asensio in a 10, Rashford on one side, and who's been playing on the
Malin maybe, or Bailey,
or Donny Malin.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a whole new attack for them.
Basically, Villa have upgraded their firepower. We're taking Donny Malin from Dortmund, who's not prolific, but he's a very versatile striker who can play. He can play left, right, 9. So if Watkins is out for
and is lightning quick.
Lightning quick. You have Rashford, who on his best day is world class, and Asensio, who has proven class. So Villa are going to be okay.
Villa win. Villa won the window then.
Villa won the window.
They put 70
I think
million.
they're preparing for the Champions League really, because like obviously they cashed in on Duran, but like the further they go in the Champions League, like they're not going to win it, let's be honest. But I think they're really going for like prize money. Like they're already through to the last 16. Like that's 11 million right there. If they get through to the quarterfinals, it's 12.5. I don't know who they could be facing against in the last 16. I know that there's playoffs beforehand.
They haven't done the draw for the last 16 just yet.
No,
but
they have. So Aston Villa. So it's Club Brugge versus Atalanta in the playoffs. And then the winner of that will either play Lille or Aston Villa. So I'm not sure what they mean by Lille or Aston Villa. Sorry. So on the other side as well, then it's Sporting versus Dortmund against Lille or Aston Villa. So I'm not sure how they decide who plays who. But yeah,
do you know it's the Champions League, and my understanding, limited as it is that absolutely nobody has a fucking clue how it works. So no shame in that one, buddy. Nobody knows what's happening, but at the end,
no clue.
But yeah, Villa firepower. That's been their thing. They've also sold John Duran, obviously £64 million. They sold Jaden Philogene to Ipswich for 20 and Diego Carlos to Fenerbahce for 10. So they actually sold quite well.
So 2 players who I have never heard of, and I've managed to bring in 30 million.
Diego Carlos was there for a while. Jaden Philogene, he was one of those. We bought and sold on the same day to cover PS, or not totally. Nothing to see here, guys. Shh. The ones that totally legal though. Anyway,
we are making no allegations of any illegal activity by any organization, club, TV channel, church,
pile of bollocks.
Or
anyway.
I'm sure it's all above board.
Chelsea also haven't bought a goalkeeper yet, and there's no sight of them doing so. But Chelsea are all about what's leaving at the minute, from what I'm seeing. There's a lot of going outbound from them over the last few days and today.
There is. I'm just breaking.
Chukwuemeka
is gone to Dortmund. Chilwell's gone to Crystal Palace. I think we might circle back to that in a second, John, because I'm seeing that Axel Disasi won't be signing for Spurs.
Ooh,
so
it's come through, is it?
So there was, it's just come through from Sky Sports now.
I feel like we could actually end up being here till 11 o'clock tonight just talking.
We could just talking, looking at this. But yeah, it looks like the latest from Sky Sports News is that Villa are the only interested team for Disasi at the moment, and he won't sign for Spurs in this window.
Do Villa have enough time to get that? They do, actually, to get a loan.
They have plenty of time to get that, yeah.
Chelsea have sent out Renato Vega. They've sent out Casady. They've sold him. They also signed another fella today whose name I can't pronounce for 12.5 million. Midfielder, central midfielder there. They brought him for 12.5 mil.
João Felix is gone, isn't he?
João Felix
he's off to AC Milan on loan.
He is.
Very stacked attack as well out there, might I add.
Yeah.
They have a very stacked attack out there in Milan because Christian Pulisic has lit it up out there. He's off the right, and off the left you have Starboy Rafa Leao. So I don't know where he goes in out there, but I
actually feel bad for Felix. He's kind of moved around a bit and has never really found a proper home outside of Atletico Madrid.
I have no sympathy for him. He has had a career of utter disappointment, in my opinion. If you see him, he's missed the big penalty for Portugal. He stupidly took on a fight with Diego Simeone, of all people. Like, there's only one winner there. Take a fight with Diego. He's going to win. Game over. You're done. And since he's done that, remember, Atletico spent an absolute shit ton of money on this guy, and he spent the last 3 years basically bouncing around on loan because he's on an awful lot of money, and Diego Simeone was like, I'm done with you. So they did sell him to Chelsea in the summer. He was just happy to wash the hands of Felix, but that was one of those deals again where they were moving money around so that one deal could be done. Chelsea needed a forward. Deal fell through for, I can't remember who it fell through for, probably Osterman. When Atletico needed the money to clean up the Alvarez deal, so it was like a domino effect type thing. Chelsea needed an attacker and got in a body that they knew they could probably resell, and they're on track to basically resell within 6 months. So Clear Lake, Chelsea, wheeling dealing, Harry Redknapp in a boardroom basically seems to be their way. Who's moving? Who's doing what? It's like, and then you've got the other side at Tottenham where I hear Daniel Levy is basically standing at Heathrow with a sign at this stage going, please sign for Spurs.
I was going to ask,
particularly if you're a defender.
Well, yeah, this is it, because we were talking about this not long ago and the refusal to buy defenders, and now suddenly, they were looking at Disasi and he's like, nah, babe, thanks. Have they picked up anyone at the back this week?
They did, yes. So I had touted this deal to go to Wolves, and basically he was flying in. Danso was coming in from Rennes to sign for Wolves, and basically the Daniel Levy truck did actually collect a player at Heathrow Airport, brought him to Tottenham, and he signed for Tottenham, having actually landed in Heathrow to do a medical with Wolves.
So like the boss of Spurs, the owner of Spurs is basically lurking around outside Heathrow looking for people to kidnap, and it's working. I love this visual. Every
Daniel Levy with a bag and a sign going, "You want to play for Spurs?" Yes. Do you know who's Spurs? So they've, to be fair, they've had an awful days.
Speaking of Spurs defenders, Dragusin done his ACL, came out only about an hour ago.
Fucking hope.
They buy one in and they just lose one to injury.
Madison's fucking calf. Lads, I'm worried about my midfield. Madison, calf. His age, don't like that now. But yes, another Spurs player on the pile. I'm looking forward to seeing Ange actually pull on a jersey himself in a couple of weeks and maybe try and...
We're not far off. He's going to be up front in the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah. Poor man.
Now, to be fair...
Semi-final, John. Semi-final.
They're doing... I'm hedging my bets. But anywho, basically what they've gone and done there was they signed Danso. They put in a bid for Fika Tomori, AC, ex-Chelsea, England defender. He said, there's no place I would go less than Tottenham Hotspurs. and he's not going there. They put a bid in, got accepted 2 days ago for Matthias Tell to Bayern Munich. He turned around and went, I'd much rather play for Man United. Man United are skint. So now he's decided, you know what, I will go.
He actually wants to play for Spurs now.
I will spend 6
No, this was about a loan fee. About a loan fee. That's where it fell apart with United, was that they wanted a loan fee and
an option.
Or they wouldn't pay one.
Well, they didn't.
Spurs
they also wanted an option to buy, and Bayern said no. And then they also put in a bid this morning for 70 million for Mark Gahey from Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace turned around and went, do you know what? We have one defender injured. We sent another guy back to Chelsea on loan. We don't need the money. We kind of need the body, because they're also trying to buy the centre back.
Yeah, I mean, they've only 3 centre backs,
including
really, that are at the right level, and he's one of them. It would be insane to sell him right now. While they do have a bit of flexibility out the sides, and I think, Gary, you wanted to come back to a man I want to talk about, a man I always want to talk about because he haunts me in my dreams, Ben Chilwell. The asset of assets has showed up at Selhurst as well, has he not? On a left back, whatever that means, whether that's him and Mitchell rotating.
No, I think that's strengthening at because who was it? Tariq Mitchell who plays left back at the moment. Yeah,
he's strong. He's good.
I don't know whether it's a case of bringing him in for a bit of extra experience in the dressing room, or whether it's not to try and compete with Mitchell at the left back spot. I think it's a good move.
It makes sense.
I think it's a good move for
again. So
I think
compete with someone and get minutes.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see him in the starting 11 on a regular basis. I don't think he's going to get ahead of Mitchell, but he'll push him. He'll be back in an environment where he's training with first team footballers, because by all accounts he was being ostracized by the Chelsea hierarchy for whatever reason. I actually don't. Was it contracts? Was it?
So basically, I'm going to go back to Spurs and Matthias Tell in a second, but the way Chelsea operates since the Clear Lake model came in is they do the death row contracts, where you sign for 8 to 10 years and you basically sign your career over to Chelsea Football Club, and that's how it is. But what they do is they have a strict wage cap of, I think it's 150 is the absolute maximum, and then it's very heavily incentivized bonuses. So like your appearance fee could be like 50, a goal, assist, a clean sheet, they could be 30, 40. So they're very heavily incentivized contracts, versus the way they did it previously was very high base wages, low performance indicators. So you have someone like Chilwell, I don't know what he's on, but he would be above what the pay grade was. And Nkunku would be the same. That's why they're trying to get him out, because he's on like 200-ish. So anyone who was on the old model contracts from pre-Todd Bowley time, they're trying to clear off those decks and use them as the sellable assets.
Okay.
To be honest, that's something that actually United should be looking into doing.
So they're Moneyball in football, basically. That's their ethos, that's their game. So anybody who falls outside that contract structure, not happening. And it's not like they're going to give Ben Chilwell a death row contract in his 30s.
No. Yeah, I hear you. And Dino, I would love to join you in the wallowing in misery that is the life of a United fan. But what was the thing on Spurs? We could just pick a team and go through them, and we could do all 20. Because you wanted to come in and tell Matty, tell? So he was... Yeah, story there.
19 years old, is he done?
He is indeed.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good move. I don't know what Spurs' situation is like regarding PSR, but it's a 6-month loan.
Sorry,
I'm sorry. For those who are listening as opposed to watching, I am sure John's reaction to he's 19 years old with he is indeed sounded just beautiful.
Okay, anyway, Dean, carry on about your business.
It's not confirmed.
That's going to be a Spotify piece.
But no, I think it's good business. I think it's good business for Spurs. I think it's good business for Tell. I think it's good business for Bayern Munich. Tell is getting no minutes, with Harry Kane in front of him. So I think it's good business anyway for Tottenham. Yeah, he's young, but I mean, like we said earlier on in the group chat, there's a shortage of strikers out there. So any experienced striker is going to cost you an absolute arm and a leg. And
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's a bad move for him.
For Tell.
I think it's a bad move for Tell. Brennan Johnson made the move from Forest to Spurs and hasn't done a whole hell of a lot. Different type of player, but still an attacking player. Up front, Solanke is there when he comes back.
Is out until mid-March, though.
Yeah. So let's say he's out for this season. That's fair enough. So this season he might get a few minutes, but at 19 he needs to be playing more regular than what he will be when Solanke comes back.
Yeah,
he's going in and he's got as a young fella, as 19, he's going in and he's going to be going up against the likes of Richarlison for a forward spot. Richarlison will probably kick the fucking nuts off him in training just to keep his space up front.
Yeah,
honestly,
I don't think I think it's a bad move.
No, I think that's what happened to the rest of the Spurs squad. It was just Richarlison baiting them in their
was just breaking legs. Yeah. Possibly.
I mean, it's pretty clear that Richarlison isn't a player that Spurs sees their future with. I'd say they probably haven't gone as quickly as possible. He's been a flop. But it is a shame. I do think that. Well, on the one hand, I do think it is a bit of a shame that United didn't get him. Like they said, they weren't willing to meet the $5 million loan fee. But as well, we have put a lot of. We have gambled a bit in the past couple of years with very young strikers like Højlund. I think he was 20 when he came in. Xerxes. I'm pretty sure he's also very young. So,
yep.
We were willing to take the risk if we could get him on a free and just cover his wages. But
But does this spell? I don't want to say the end for Højlund and Xerxes at United, but certainly this would show that there's a lack of confidence from Amarin in them. I mean, against Palace at the weekend, they didn't play a forward.
Yeah,
they played Mainu in behind. They had two recognised strikers that they could have brought on. When they did bring them on, they just looked like they were running through tar.
Yeah.
The first touch was abysmal.
Yeah.
So for them for United to be linked with Tel, surely that's a telltale sign that either Højlund or Xerxes or both.
Just quickly, on Bayern Munich spent 25 million on him at 17. The boy can play. It's Harry Kane is the problem there. That's why he wasn't getting minutes over there.
And Harry Kane just broke a record there yesterday for the fastest player to hit 100 goals in the Bundesliga. So they have full confidence in him.
100.
Yeah, oh yeah. So
he's the fastest player to get 100 goals in the Bundesliga. Yeah. Previously held by Lewandowski, I think.
Yeah, and last year Gerd Muller had a record that lasted for 50 years. Lewandowski busted up eventually, and then Harry Kane in year one in Germany went, see that record? That I'll take that for me, and that is my collection of personal goal scoring accolades, and has continued that form into this season, and he's off the chart good. Harry Kane's the best centre forward on the planet for me in terms of number nines.
Yeah, no, he definitely is.
He's the best. So if you're the child centre forward, learning off him for the last 18 months can only be good. I'm 100% certain Kane had a word with him about that's where you go and play.
Yeah,
true.
I would say there's inside track there where there's been a conversation with someone in the club and Kane going, the boy can play.
Do you know what I think Bayern might actually be doing? I think that Bayern are after putting him out on loan, hoping that he tears it up and it'll bring up his transfer fee. Because they're not getting any money for him just sitting on the bench and getting fuck all minutes.
But there's already, I think there's...
Huh?
Come on, sorry.
There's no way, like John was just saying there, they spent 25 million for him 2 years ago. If they do decide that they don't need him in the long term, they're better off cashing in. But his salary, or not his salary, but his transfer fee isn't going to go up with him just sitting on the bench. So I think that from a Bayern point of view, they were like, okay, this guy needs minutes, but he's not getting minutes here, so let's offload him somewhere else and see if he can get minutes, and we can try and see if we can get some from him in the summer.
And if he rips it up,
and that's where United should come in.
But also,
in my opinion,
look at moving on Kane.
Huh?
And if he works out really well at Spurs and starts firing all cylinders, they can look at moving on Harry Kane in his mid-30s and still getting something back in terms of financial gain for him. And if Harry Kane comes back to the Premier League even for a couple of years, he takes that Prem record. But Dean and Gary, you mentioned that Man United have a centre-forward problem, and Dean, you said that there's no centre-forwards really available. I beg to differ because I wrote a blog the other day about the current centre-forward market, and there's a few ballsy names around. You have Victor Boniface, the Leverkusen forward, obviously Tell. And I think this is part of the Tell loan deal, is that there's a big striker market coming in this summer. You've got Oshiman, Victor Gyökeres, you've got Jonathan David over in France, you've got Boniface at Leverkusen, you've got Watkins, obviously, who a bid went in for Cunha, and Buemo, Wissa, Pedro. You have Evan Ferguson, who's on loan there at West Ham, which I'm sure we'll get onto. There's an awful lot of forwards on the move potentially in the summer. So, Gary, to your point about Højlund and Xerxes, are they cooked up at United? Fuck yeah. But where did they go? Because they're just selling everybody.
I think Højlund goes back to Italy. I think that's where he needs to go for the sake of his career. He's done really, really well in Italy. He was tearing it up at Atalanta before United signed him. Like, you don't lose your quality overnight. He is a proper player. And if anyone who's seen him when he was playing in Serie A for Atalanta will attest to that. I don't know whether it's a change of pace from Serie A to the Premier League. I don't know whether the physicality in the Premier League just hasn't suited him. We've seen that before. Plenty of players who have gone from Serie A into the Premier League, all the way back to the likes of Duran when he signed for Chelsea, who was tearing it up at Lazio before. You could look over the last 30 years and you could pick players out every second season who've moved from Italy to England.
The only thing is Højlund's lightning fast, but they don't give him service, and now the confidence seems shot to pieces.
He doesn't look lightning fast. This season, I have not seen him run particularly fast.
We watch a lot more United than any of us.
I actually feel like he's been almost invisible this season. My attention really this season has been on Amad Diallo. I've said it before. I think he's if United is to make a comeback, he is him and Garnacho are key players in that rebuild. But the problem is, I think Ten Hag didn't have any faith in Diallo, and he also didn't have a lot of faith in Garnacho. And Garnacho as well can also be quite selfish. Now, it's good for me because he takes a lot of shots from outside the box and they end up on target. They're 2 points a pop for me, which is great. But as a supporter and a Man United fan, he misses 9 out of 10 of them, So, I think that maybe if the last 2 years or so, if Ahmed was getting more game time and Garnacho was getting more game time, they could have maybe had a bit of chemistry over the past couple of years. But I just think that Højlund's confidence now is just shot, and it's just kind of might be time to move him on. But then who did we get in? We saw earlier on that Paul Merson was going on about Mateta. I think, considering Mateta is a proven goal scorer in the Premier League, he has experience in the Premier League, I could see Crystal Palace look for 80 or 90 million for him. Can we afford that? Can we afford 80 or 90 million for Mateta?
Enzo just missed a sitter here, lads. Sorry, Enzo just missed an absolute sitter across the front of the goals. If you would like some numbers on Man United, believe it or not, I did a little bit of digging on this, Dean, and I'm sorry, buddy. This is going to dirty data. It's going to reinforce your point, but it's going to hurt a little. So I was looking at United and I saw that they sold Marcus Rashford, and that's fine. That's grand. But here's the problem. They have, under Amorim, 14 games. They have scored 18 goals. It's the lowest ratio in that time span. So I had a look at the players, as I tend to, and I found an amazing, bizarre thing about Man United. Man United are the only team in Opta scoring this year for which the starting forwards all have lower points per week than the starting defenders. And their defenders are not lighting up the sky either. Xerxes and Højlund are the last two full-on capital F forwards they have listed. Xerxes is just below 4 points a game. Højlund's at 3.5. Looking at their defenders, Dalot, Martinez, De Ligt, Maguire are all over 4 per week, and Evans is scoring to me, this looks like a missed opportunity this window that they're landing, and again, limited. But if you're a big, fat, fucking rich team and you're way down the table, at least when January comes around, you can throw a shitload of money at fixing an obvious problem. But they haven't.
Man United have no money. They are very, very poor right now. They have invested lots of money in shit. They've sacked a whole bunch of people. They needed to clear off the wage bill. And what they've basically spent this January doing is going, Anthony, you, find a new home. Off you pop. Marcus Rashford, find a new home. Off you pop. they're getting rid of mass wages off the books. They still wanted to get rid of Casemiro, and they would have accepted a big offer for Garnacho if the deal could have been done with Napoli, and it was very close until Amorim, by all accounts, was the one who vetoed it because Garnacho turned his attitude in matches and training around him. I want to keep this kid around. He's got something about him. But it seems to be that United are basically clear. Ratcliffe and Ineos, they're not universally popular right now, but I think this is a short-term pain, long-term gain type.
I think
you'd expect them to make a splash in the summer.
I think they've got their manager in. Ten Hag was always on borrowed time when a new ownership structure came in. They've now got their man. They're writing off this season, gone. We've seen enough of that dressing room, seen enough of this club. We now know what's under the hood financially, and it's time to cut our cloth accordingly and fix the problems. They've had their bedding in period, and now they're acting on it. And fans, I don't think, like it because this is the hard part where you're scanning through that room going, you're not here. Yeah, sure, they're not getting the best values, but they got rid of Jadon Sancho, who was on scandalous money. Marcus Rashford, scandalous money. Between them, that's 700 grand a week saved.
Well, I think Villa are covering 70%.
Yeah, but between Sancho, Rashford, and Anthony, it
Sancho's
is
on loan.
900 grand a week in wages saved.
Sancho's still on loan, is he? It's not. He didn't.
The buy comes in if Chelsea finish above 14th, and it's a 14th.
I mean, like the dream scenario is that, like, you know, Sancho and Rashford go away. Well, Sancho's
done. 14th.
But like, what I would like to see is Rashford go away, regain his confidence, come back with a new flair, and stay as a United player next year. But I think that similar to Tell with Bayern, I think United are just trying to see if it can hit some bit of form and try to get a nice fee from him in the summer. So yeah, I don't know. Hope maybe is there any sign of Amorim going for his old striker, Girikos? Is it?
That'll be a summer move, and
summer.
To be honest, me personally, I think it's a stupid move. I watched, I was living over in Portugal there for a while last year. So I went to sporting games. He's good. He's a good player. But remember, they bought him from Coventry. He's done very well over in Portugal. But do you remember the last two strikers who were bought out of Portugal for huge money were Darwin Núñez and João Felix, and look how well they've done.
Yeah.
So I think the money that you'd be dropping on him personally, as you said, Mateta is probably going to cost in around the same money he's proven. That's an unpopular opinion, very unpopular opinion. You have Ollie Watkins, probably a bit older. You have Victor Osimhen. Like, there's options out there. Personally, for me, Gyökeres, I think, is one of those ones where he'll do well. He'd do well, but the price tag that's going to be against his name will fall under the old bullshit of we've now overpaid for a forward who bags about 15 Premier League.
Yeah. See, the problem is that, like, we've tried the whole, you know, giving outrageous salaries and buying, like, you know, like paying outrageous fees, and then we've gone in the other direction, is buying very young players. You know, again, like I said, Xerxes and Højlund. It's just like
that was one Harry Kane with change. Context. That's one Harry Kane with change where they could have gone and got someone else. The waste that club has put down, like, for the money that they spent between Casemiro, between Eriksen. I know Eriksen was free, but Casemiro, Eriksen, and who was the other fucking idiot they had over the last couple of years? But that's Declan Rice. So, like, the players that they've brought in and shipped out.
Yeah.
Declan Rice and Harry Kane, that would have also sorted the dressing room problem.
You don't actually see United signing a lot of players that are in the Premier League. That's like, sure you don't. Like, you see the likes of, like,
Dutch.
You see, like, we're obsessed with buying foreign players who have no experience in the Premier League, and, like, a lot of players who come to the Premier League all say the same thing. It's a very, very physical league compared to their own leagues, and they don't seem to shine as well as they do. Whereas you see the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, even City, sometimes they're buying players who are Premier League proven. Like you said, John, like, you have, like, Declan Rice is after going and lighting it up at Arsenal. Like Chelsea, like took. Well, we did. I suppose we had Mount and Ericsson. Like Ericsson, I mean,
he had come back from the actual dead.
And I mean, Mount has just been
3 years.
Mount wasn't proven at Chelsea. I don't know what
he had injury problems at Chelsea that he's now brought to Man United.
Yeah. Mount was solid at Chelsea.
Mount was solid. Mount was solid at Chelsea under a manager who he played for 6 years with Frank Lampard. Like Mount played under Lampard when he was at Derby County. Lampard then went to Chelsea and brought him to Chelsea with him. Now I think that Derby County was on loan because he was originally at Chelsea. So he long story short, anyway, he went back to Chelsea with Lampard, played under Lampard, was very, very good under Lampard. And then when Lampard left, Mount kind of fell off the edge of a cliff. Mount's overrated. He suited the system and he suited the manager as well because they obviously got on quite well. Highly overrated. So when he went to United, couldn't deal with the pressure, couldn't deal with the system, and that was that. But just quickly on a side note, if we're talking about proven players in the Premier League, the rumor at the moment is that Willian, Fulham are considering taking him back because he is a free agent from Olympiacos.
And Harry Wilson got hurt the other day, so they need a player out there.
And Harry Wilson is injured.
I'm sorry, Willian. He's
somewhere
around my age, I believe.
Sorry, I need to do one thing because of that news. Carry on about your business.
Just breaking from Sky Sports News. They are considering it. They are getting that information from the Daily Telegraph. He is 36 and he is a free agent after leaving Olympiacos. John has just changed into his Fulham shirt because he is
one of his Fulham shirts.
One of my many.
If we're indulging Dean's team and John's team, you're going to damn well indulge mine, right? And now a quick update on Brighton, where absolutely everything is okay this week. Nothing has gone wrong at all. Everything's fine. New record low score statistically on Opta this week for Lewis Dunk. Big Lewis.
They lost 7-0.
Scored an own goal and then conceded another 6. Yeah, not the most fun week. Yeah. But I can't even be mad when it's Forest. I can't be mad at them.
Didn't you sign some people and you've sold some people over at Brighton this window?
We've some new young fella to replace another young fella on the bench. Yeah, like 20 million on a 19-year-old striker to replace a half-crippled striker who's gone to the much more interesting, and we must talk about them, West Ham.
Yes, please.
So Ferguson's out and young fella number 1 is in.
Stefanos Simias, who has come from Nuremberg for 20.
Nuremberg. It's a very Greek-sounding name.
22 million.
And that's most of Brighton's business, unless this rumor of Adingra, whatever way you pronounce it, goes through, which I think
rumors around at the minute.
And Mitoma's staying put, and that's all I care about. Yeah. Mitoma will be a Seagull for the rest of the season, and he will also continue to wear the armband for the Aristocrats in Slug, and that has made me a very happy chappy because, dear God, imagine what this weekend would be like, starting with a 7-0 defeat and ending with losing Mitoma. That would be bad times.
It would be Willian levels of housery. I am
and that's the Brighton update. That's it for Brighton.
Fulham had a bid in at Sparta. Sorry, can I just do my giant striker fetish moment? And I think he's happening. I think it's coming, and I'm very excited. There is a man called Duran who plays for Spartazan. Jesus, is it Spartan Belgrade? Anyway, he's a big Serbian striker who the Serbian media have dubbed Mitro 2.0, and Fulham have bid for him.
Of course they have.
Yeah. I don't think they had time to get the deal over the line, so it's one to watch.
It's 1-0 West Ham. It's 1-0 West Ham, and it is the glorious return of Mr. Jared Bowen.
Of course it is. Where's he rocking up at the minute in terms of our league? Who has him? Does anybody have him?
Dave?
Dave, I think.
Dave got him on auto pick, which is going to take me quite nicely into the West Ham discussion because, lads, he's back. There's the Irishman too, but excuse me, the greatest fantasy football asset in the history of fantasy football for consistency. The man who is located everywhere you want your players to be in terms of set pieces. The man who was the only reason Southampton were in the Premier League for several years. He took a little holiday. Turns out he doesn't look great in red, but he's back, bitches. James Ward-Prowse is back at West Ham, and all is right with the world.
Guess who Jimmy's transferring in this
Nice.
week?
James Ward-Prowse has been Jimmy's like standard in fantasy football. Jimmy has the James Ward-Prowse scale of is he reasonable? Does he play for a team? Does he get play? Does he take set pieces? I go by the Andres Pereira scale personally, but I think they're up to similar.
What's the Andres Pereira scale? Because I know the metrics for JWP, but the Pereira scale seems to be runs really fast and does cool shit.
No, Andres Pereira is the set piece guy. He's the James Ward-Prowse. I play attacking midfielder. I play pretty passes, and I take set pieces, so I get a few assists when I hit the giant bastard up front. Which for Pereira, that was Mitrovic, and now
hasn't Pereira been on the bench for the last 6 weeks?
Who?
With transferred out, yeah.
He was about to be sold. To Marseille or to Fluminense or Palmeiras, and that looks like that river has run dry. So expect to see him back in the starting 11 gloriously from next week, because they're going to push Emil Smith-Rowe out wide now that all of their other wingers are unfit, and it's going to be that or Adama Traore. And as much as I love watching that big bastard run through the pitch, he is the most single frustrating player that the planet has ever created. He runs too fast that he doesn't even know what's happening anymore by the time he gets to the place where he has to do the things. And it's very annoying. But anyway, James Ward-Prowse is going to be putting that ball onto a new target, man.
He is. And it's great news once again for the Irish players.
Sorry, Jimmy. If I can interrupt you. Sky Sports News are just breaking that Willian will be returning to Fulham. That is no longer a rumour. That looks like it is actually happening. That is literally just broke. So my apologies for cutting across you, sir. But yeah,
guys, I think I know who John's going to go for at the window.
Yeah,
he's back, bitches.
He looks like he is back.
It's so.
Also, Disasi is on the verge of signing for Villa on loan.
Nice.
Villa again. More good shopping.
Yeah.
So we're genuinely in a situation where before this season is out, I could sit down and turn on the TV, and it will take me to 2014, where I will watch Willian and Vardy on the same pitch. This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. I love it. It inspires me when the Owl lads keep.
And James Ward-Prowse will be taking a free kick.
James Ward-Prowse taking free kicks and corners. And I was gonna tout the merits of Ward-Prowse as a serious consideration for anybody looking for assets because of the corners and free kicks. And then Jared Bowen apparently came back from the dead. So I don't know how that's going to interplay there. There's probably a rotation there. But yes, the other good news from West Ham for the Irish fans is Evan Ferguson might actually get to play some ball this year. That'd be cool. There's a massive gap at the front at West Ham where Mike Antonio used to be. And my understanding, again, give me some space here, like a Labrador or a 5-year-old. Michael Antonio was from the big, strong, hoof it and get in there school of strikers, as opposed to the nippy little hoppy guys who are holding down L1 and pressing circle. And Evan Ferguson is very much, yeah, you heard me. And Evan Ferguson is bitch gaming is my house. Ferguson is of that same school. He's a big monster to push out up front, take those big whacks from the edge of the box. He was good for Brighton for 10 minutes last year. It was lovely to see. It was sad to see he's not getting game time, and I think this is a good move for him at his age. So
it's a great move for him. He's going back to play under Graham Potter, who he did really well with at Brighton. He hasn't been playing this season. Hasn't been playing for a good number of months. Granted, he's been injured, but I think injuries like that, what he has experienced, is down to the lack of game time, lack of match fitness. So he will play under Potter. How much he'll play? Questionable. But he's going back to a manager. He's gone back to a manager that he is familiar with. Again, similar situation to Mason Mount. Graham Potter obviously has some influence there. He's played very well under him before, so I'm actually delighted to see it. John, to be fair, you called this about 3 weeks ago as well.
Yeah.
And
he looks like he belongs there.
And he looks like what?
He looks like he belongs there. For me.
Yeah, he's that sort of player. He is a battering ram.
He's a good honest boy. He'll get about the pitch. He'll do his bits.
Yeah, but he's a battering ram. He really is. I mean, if you're playing,
he's better than that.
Is he?
Yes.
I mean, that's not a bad thing. Antonio
No,
has
not
been
necessarily.
quite prolific over the years. There's nothing wrong with being a big head first. I mean, Diego Costa was a big head first guy. There's nothing wrong with that if it works, and it works
in
for
the
both
summer
of them.
gone past, he was touted as the next big thing. Like he was getting looked at 100 million offers by big teams. Loads of teams were looking at him, and it was the Graham Potter thing that got him to go to West Ham over. I'd say he was the most requested player in this transfer window. I'd say every team, bar probably City and Liverpool in the Premier League, made an inquiry and went, "How'd you fancy it?" His potential is all
but
he's
John,
more than a battering ram, but he's
nah, John. Look, I mean, I look at Ferraris all day. Doesn't mean I'm going to go out and buy one. You can look at players left, right, and center, and then go, nah, thanks very much. I'm sorry. He is very, very good. Is he the next big thing? That remains to be seen.
I think
Is there such a thing as the next big thing coming out of Ireland? Probably not. But that's a separate conversation. He came out of Wales, but look, and that was by accident.
We can have an accident.
He is a battering ram, and that's not a bad thing. He's built like that. All the way back to watching him play in League of Ireland for Bohemians, he was that sort of player. He's big, he's strong, he's excellent first touch, and he puts the ball in the net. That's fine. But he is the equivalent of winning Street Fighter using the 100 hand slap with E-Honda. That is what he does. He does one thing and one thing only, and that's it. Good luck.
I disagree, but I want to hear Dean's opinion.
I mean, he's not getting minutes, so it's kind of hard to see. He had that nice run of form there. Was it at the start of this season or was it last season?
End of last season.
Yeah. So I mean, it's amazing what confidence can do for a player. So David Moyes is, or sorry, it's not David Moyes anymore. Who was it?
Graham Potter.
I'm not a wizard, Harry Potter.
Yeah, Graham Potter is a good manager, so hopefully he can go bring out the best in him. But as again, like I said, it kind of remains to be seen. But being upright and just staying on the bench wasn't doing fucking anything for him. Like I said earlier on,
it's a great move.
Minutes for him.
Yeah, it's a great move, and I hope he proves me wrong. But the style of play that West Ham will be playing under Potter, it's all very tasty up to the point it gets to the striker, and you just expect him to put it in the net.
Yeah,
he can do that.
Again, I think he is only 20 years old as well. He's very, very young.
Very raw.
So he's still quite raw. So I don't know.
And for the next 6 months, he's West Ham's only fit striker. I think it's going to be between him and Romain Esse, who Crystal Palace picked up from Millwall under earlier in the window as the two signings of the window. Those are my punts. Esse at Palace, he looks delicious. So I'd be punting on him at the price that they bought for him. He looks like the long-term Elise replacement and Ferguson. I think they're the potentially two deals of the window.
I'm going to throw out some more good Irish player news as we're talking Ferguson. Conor Cody's alleged swap to Leicester for Craig Dawson is now off the cards, I'm reading, and I'm delighted because Conor Cody, I like to see Irish lads get a bit of attention, and I don't think you're going to get a whole pile of it in a good way playing at the back for Leicester this year.
Which one?
Yeah.
Conor Cody's English.
Is Cody English? He's one of ours.
He is.
No. Shit, who am I
thinking? I think to be fair, I think he qualifies for Ireland under the granny rule.
Yeah,
he does qualify.
Okay.
But he didn't. But he's capped for England. But you're probably getting mixed up with Matt Doherty.
I'm getting mixed up with Matt Doherty. Good man, Pep. Good man. Anyway, look, that deal ain't happening now, so all quiet on that front. Who else has been shopping? Anything at City? Oh well, yeah, there was.
Everything's been at City, and then they have one more deal in the pipeline on the way in. Holding midfielder, the Roger replacement that they've been bitching about for 6 months. God forbid every other team hasn't ever had an injury to an important player, but they're going to go and bust the 200 million mark on their own in January with a new central defensive midfielder to add to Marmouche, Resch, and Kushinov. They're going to spend the bank.
Nico Gonzalez.
200 million.
Between those four players. In total.
Oh, okay.
The sheer audacity of them to fucking spend that kind of money in January with their fucking hearing coming up.
They don't give a fuck.
It's about 50 million for Gonzalez, but what I'm reading here.
50.
But yeah, again, stopgap. Don't understand it. Don't get it. You know, they'll get top four. They will get top four. There's no two ways about it. That's fine. The way the Champions League places for next season are looking, it's possible that England get 5 spots, and Bournemouth might get into the 5th spot, which would be delicious next year. But anyway, that's a separate podcast discussion. But anyway, I don't know why they're spending 50 million on Gonzalez. As soon as Rodri is fit again next year, he doesn't play, or I don't know whether they have the 2 players holding there the way they used to. Maybe that's the game. But
I have a suspicion that they get docked many points when they get in trouble for doing the things they did.
Allegedly.
It's pretty much confirmed. Fuck.
Allegedly. We are accusing no club
allegedly
sandwich or
allegedly.
Shoes of
okay, they can allegedly
activity.
go and kindly fuck themselves. And
that I'll stand with you in court. But yeah.
Yeah, they can allegedly.
He's in the middle of having his medical in Portugal for.
Yeah. So there's going to be some big boys that are going to ship out to homes anew at City in the summer. The likes of KDB, off he paps. I think there's Ruben Diaz has probably seen his day in the sun. Kyle Walker's already fucked off to his mini retirement home. I think Ederson's going to go back down in Saudi. And I reckon there's one or two going to suit.
Well, this is going to happen regardless of the outcome of that investigation, whether they do or do not get docked points, to be fair. Because we've said, again, we've discussed this before. That team is in transition now. There's a lot of players there who are 30 plus who have done it all and don't need to continue to do it and don't need to continue to put their bodies through that. KDB, Gundogan, Ederson in goal. Kyle Walker's already fecked off to Milan, you know, to enjoy his time in Italy and eat as much pizza and drink as much wine as he likes. There's going to be enough
3-year transfer ban potentially off this case, and they're cutting their cloth to stack the deck in advance of a long transfer ban.
Possibly,
Maybe.
I mean, a transfer ban is the bare minimum that we go for, like, you know. So
I love the universal hope that they just get hurt.
Fuck them. Like if it's true that they did any of that, take all their titles, tank them off to the non-league, and literally destroy them as a football club, and that's horrible for the fans of the club.
And do not give those titles to Liverpool under any circumstances.
I will take one. United will happily take one.
Gunnar Solskjaer will have a Premier League winners medal as a manager.
Thanks very much. No, I have a soft spot for. I've always had a soft spot for City. My late father was a City fan. And I did grow up watching them when they were in the 2nd division with the likes of Huey Rustler playing up front for them. But I agree with every single thing that John has just said about fuck them.
Yeah.
If they, throw them into the Conference League, let them play against Crawley Town and work their way back up. Make a show of them, because I've said it before, they have turned football away from being a sport into a business, even more than any other team, and they have cheated their way doing it, in my opinion. That is my opinion.
Allegedly.
So yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
No, in my opinion, that's what's happened. And so yeah, fuck them. Do Juventus on them, relegate them, take their titles off them. Best of luck.
Okay, and on that note, now I think we've got that wrapped up in a neat little go fuck yourself gift.
Wait.
Yes.
Don't forget, Arsenal did nothing. Carry on.
Fuck them. Fuck them too. And we're doing something a little different today, Jimmy.
Sorry, I'm just tuning up here.
What's happening? Do you know what's happening? We know what's happening.
That's the one. Let them know what's happening, John.
We have a different quizmaster today. It's the special Gary Cronin Pep quiz.
Yes, it is.
It means I'm on the other side for a change, and maybe we will not descend into our usual fucking chaos. Gary, tell us your rules and your only rules.
This is going to absolutely descend into chaos. But I think we decided that we would let somebody else try and win, considering I have pretty much annihilated everybody in the quiz up to this point. So for this week, I will be quizmaster, and John will be trying to answer the questions against Jimmy and Dean. Jimmy, I'm very, very afraid to ask, but I'm going to ask, is there a jingle for this week?
So about 20 minutes ago, apologies to listeners, the loud typing you heard was me amending the lyrics for this week's jingle. And I thought, as a tribute to Pep, our occasional leader of mayhem, I would do it in respect to his North Dublin heritage.
Oh no!
I thought that if I can, I would do this in the style of Mr. Ronnie Drew. Okay, hold on.
Monoxide alarm.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay.
I was walking across the Liffey looking for me cuddling stick when I saw old Oscar Wilde shouting at his Uncle Mick. Rydal Canaddle Bono's glasses, now I'm taking the piss for the first time ever. Gary, please do us the quiz.
Well played, sir. Brilliant.
Jesus,
absolutely. It was worth it. It was worth it just for that, Jimmy. I won't lie. It was worth it just for that. Yeah, for this week, I am taking over the quiz. Thank you, John, for letting me do this. Really looking forward to it. The rules are the same. 10 questions. We do have a tiebreaker if we get to that point. The only difference this week is instead of shouting out the answer, I want you to shout your name. We're going to try and not have this descend into chaos like John does. So, yeah, shout your name instead of the answer. And we will go from there, and I will try and keep score.
Rule on Dean and his bullshit cheating before
I have never fucking cheated.
You lying piece of shit.
Oh, hang on. The last time you did cheat, and you still lost.
Our names are remarkably similar. But
anyway,
it'll be fine.
We'll figure it out. It's fine. We'll figure it out as we go. Right, here we go. Right, question the first. Mo Salah is the highest scoring forward so far this season, and he has 502 points. But who is the second highest?
James.
Jimmy.
Cole Palmer.
No, it is not. No, second highest forward. You did not hear, okay. So you're locked out. John, Dean. Out. John, you cut on second, so who?
It's Buemo.
It is Buemo on 360 points. It is indeed. Jimmy, you would have been right. Cole Palmer is second highest overall, but the second highest forward is Buemo on 360 points. So it's 1-0.
Just if you ask any more questions like that, Gary, can you just make sure to say in terms of fantasy points or goals? Because I was thinking goals when you asked that question.
Gary, please steer Dean's mind.
I did mention that Salah was the highest scoring forward with 502 points. I don't think he scored 502 goals.
This was down to Dean's better than Dean's earlier one. It's like source for Marcus Rashford's transfer. Dean, you like the post.
Dean, you and I suspect, are always losing these quizzes for the exact same reason. Something is giving us a lack of focus.
Anywho, keep going. We'll keep going. Question number 2. It was Champions League week last week, so we will have a Champions League question. Liverpool and United are the two most successful English teams in the Champions League / European Cup, so it's not just Champions League. Who are the third most successful English team in Jimmy?
Nottingham Forest.
It is Nottingham Forest. Very, very good. How many wins have they got, do you think? Very good. They have 2 wins, one in 1978 and 1979 and 1980. Very, very good, Jimmy. Number 3, John Duran, who we have spoken about at length, signed for Al Nassr for €77 million. That is the second highest transfer for a player moving to the league. Who's the highest?
Moving to the Saudi League.
Moving to the Saudi League, not from the Premier League, just in general.
John. Neves.
Nope.
Fuck. Oh, shit.
You are locked out, John.
Bollocks.
Neves is number 3 behind Duran.
I know.
Neymar?
It is Neymar. 90 million from 2023 from PSG.
I shot my load.
The 200 million pound goal. It's for one goal.
Bollocks.
So that's 1-1-1. We actually might get to the tiebreaker here, lads. This is actually going quite well. Question 4. Now listen carefully, because this might be a little bit confusing. Which 2 Premier League players have combined together for the most goals this season? So between the 2 of them, goals and assists. It's goals and assists. But how many? Who are they? And
wait, goals and assists, or just goals?
No, just goals. Just goals. So 2 Premier League players combined together for the most goals this season. Who are they? Dean, you got him first.
And Chris Wood.
It's not. No. So for the same team. So one player would assist the other player. So I'll let you back in. To be fair.
All right.
John. Nope.
Fuck! What?
Dean. Watkins and Duran?
Nope.
Jimmy, Jackson and Palmer?
Nope.
Palmer? Wait, sorry. Strikers or just players in general?
Players, but they have to play for the same team.
Do we get to go again?
You do.
Okay,
Jimmy.
John.
I'm going to give that one to John.
Mateta and Eze.
Nope.
Fuck off.
Jimmy.
Trent and Mo.
Nope. You're going to kick yourselves.
We are.
Oh my god, this is going to be so fun.
Dean.
Fuck.
Do you want one more round on this one, or will I tell you after
this?
Nope, it's not. Everyone's back in.
Jimmy. Gordon and Isaac.
Oh, no.
Bollocks, I was going to say the same one.
Fuck.
Combined for the most goals.
You're on the right track, as in, like, that kind of idea, but yeah. Dean, sorry, go.
Fuck, Jesus Christ. Did I not just go? No?
I thought you called your name again, but John, go.
Foden and Haaland.
Nope.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, after Dean's goal.
Just give up, I can give it to you. Do you just want to know?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
It was Isaac, but it was Jacob Murphy, not Anthony Gordon. Yeah,
half point?
between the two, no, we don't do half points in this quiz. They've combined together for 7 goals so far this season. So still 1-1-1. Question 5: who is the top scoring player in this game week so far?
Chris Wood.
John? It is Chris Wood. Very, very good. 2-1-1. We're going to go to John's favorite question. It's a career path question. Okay, I have played for Institute, Derry City, Sunderland, Wigan, West Brom, Stoke, Wigan again, and Wrexham.
John already. James McLean.
It is James McLean.
I play way too much Football Manager. I will not always get these.
It's very good, James McLean. Yeah, still playing at Wrexham, actually, strange enough. But 3-1-1. Question 7: in 2018-2019 season, 3 players shared the Premier League Golden Boot for the top scorer. Who were they?
What year did you play?
Was it Harry Kane?
Nope. Sorry. 3 players shared the Premier League Golden Boot. Who were they?
2018.
So first, it's the only time it's ever happened where it's been shared between 3 players, to be fair.
2018.
2018-2019. So 2018 into 2019 season.
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Mo Salah. Fucking Jesus. And who is it, City?
I'm gonna cut you off because that's wrong. But I'm not gonna put you through the torture.
May I have a crack?
You can have a crack, John. You're the only one left.
2018 would have been Aguero, Mo Salah.
Nope.
Fuck.
Yeah, so you're all back in. I will tell you that Salah is 1 because 2 have gotten it right. So I'll give you that. So if you can name the other 2 players, you will get the point.
2018-2019, 5 years.
Dean, that's 7
Everyone's back in again.
But you see, anything before 2019 is the before time, and I'm not sure any of that happened.
Oh, you'll know all 3 of these players, Jim.
I
You
know.
will know
we were
also.
we were tlugging away, were we not?
We were.
Wait, did I win that season?
Possibly.
Dean, no.
2018. Shit. Oh,
Rashford?
Nope.
no, that's
Do you need to say your name to come in?
yeah, give me this. That
Yeah.
is when Sadio Mane and Mo Salah, they're two of them anyway. That was the year that
Who's
they
the third?
two loved each other. Fuck, that's going to be someone obscure.
Thank you for giving me the second answer anyway, though.
Who was the third?
You literally just
Sorry,
gave
who
me
was the striker for? Fuck me, it's Aubameyang.
It is Aubameyang. Very well played, sir.
Oh.
It is. Aubameyang, Salah, and Mane each got 22 goals that season, so they shared the golden boot.
Nice.
Yes,
I think that's a win
indeed.
for John too.
No, we still have 8, 9, and 10, so technically they could get to a draw.
What's the score?
Dean, take a knee. I got this.
4-1-1.
It's 4-1. Question 8, because it's transfer deadline day, who is the current January transfer window record signing?
That was
Jimi.
last year.
Jimmy.
Marmouche.
Nope.
No, it's
As in overall, not just the current one in this in this window.
yeah. That would have been Can I, John? Yes, I'm going to be wrong, but I'm going to throw out Fernando Torres.
Nope.
No.
He's not even close, actually. He was 50 million.
Wow. Shit. Oh.
It's a great question.
Dean, was it Falcao?
It wasn't Falcao.
Oh, that's
Everyone's back in.
That's a good call, though.
It was a good shout. I'm not sure where he finishes on the list, but no. Everyone back in.
Jimi. Punt here. But was Szoboszlai a January signing?
Sorry, is it coming into the Premier League or going out?
Coming into the Premier League.
Yeah.
Szoboszlai. Are you saying Szoboszlai, Jimmy?
I'm saying Szoboszlai, Gary.
No.
God,
Ian and John, I'm going to give you a countdown on this.
January.
4, 3, 2.
Oh, Virgil van Dijk.
1. No, he was number 2.
Piss on a goat.
Go on.
Dean, do you want to have a punt?
No,
Or are you giving up?
You're admitting that I win the quiz. If
You-
you give up.
go on.
He's given up. It was Enzo Fernandez.
Oh,
Suck a dick. 105, yeah. 120.
121 million euro or 105 sterling from Benfica. Yes. So technically it does mean John wins the quiz, but we'll finish it off just for a second. Jimmy's favourite player, James Ward-Prowse, he scored 56 goals in 11 seasons in the Premier League. But how many of them have been free kicks? And I will give this to whoever it is the closest. John?
43.
11.
Dean, do you want to stick a punt in there?
18.
Good man, Dean. It was 17. So you
43, Jimmy. Jesus fucking
43 out of 56.
It's 11
Bagging
years.
every goal he's ever scored.
He's only scored 56. He's only scored 56 and 43
Every
of them.
fucking club in the world would be fucking trying to sign him.
Jesus Christ.
His goals for free kicks.
Unbelievable. So what are we? 4-2-1. Jimmy, you might be beaten by Dean this year, or this week even. Last question. Jim White, we all remember from being a transfer deadline day legend on Sky Sports. He did leave in 2021, but what was the colour of the tie that he always wore on transfer deadline day? Dean.
Red?
No.
It's yellow.
Yellow it was, John. Very, very good.
The colour of the ticker timer that is forever on the
Yes, he was famous for it. I do have a bonus question. Do we want to play the bonus round or do we want to leave it?
Yeah. You took the time to write it.
Let's play the bonus game. I do actually. I'm quite proud of this bonus question.
Go on.
So the famous 2016 Leicester team who won the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. 3 players from that team have won Premier League medals with other clubs.
Jimmy. Kante.
That's 1.
Mount.
Nope.
No.
Oh,
He
no.
wasn't with Leicester.
What?
Kante is 1.
Dean.
No, Mason Mount wasn't with Leicester.
I'm thinking of Madison.
Kante, Mahrez.
Yep.
Yep.
You won't get the third.
I won't. No.
John might.
I know the third because he's a big, sexy German called Robert Hoof.
He is a big, sexy German called Robert Hoof.
I don't know.
Well played, sir.
He entered one of them.
To be fair, between the 3 is figured it out. You did figure it out.
We get a third of a point each.
Yeah.
Look, I have a simple rule for these quizzes, and it's something I learned 10 years ago that slightly led to the creation of this league, is if in doubt, Kante.
Yeah.
This is true.
He's the answer to everything, that guy.
He is the answer to everything.
Appreciated him when he was still around. But hey, you never know. Maybe Fulham will bring him back on a loan.
Don't play with my emotions.
He is back.
So who's doing this now that it's the end of the January transfer window? It seems like, looking at the ticker timer, there is no more random ass deals to be done, and we could tap out for the evening. So I suppose, Jimmy, you may as well. You did a wonderful job last week at signing us off, and Gary, you did a lovely cap line. So between the two of you, sign us off.
Oh, what a window it hath been this January that we have seen. Watch it fly by. Say goodbye. Gary, help me.
You're doing so well without me, Jimmy.
I'll finish it off. Goodbye.
You finish it off, Dean.
Perfect. See you later, lads.
Perfect. Good luck.
Yeah. Anyway, long story short, for all of your starter needs, go to starterdraft.com. You can find out about all of our new game modes. You can check out our bloggerson. You can join the waiting list, and for any general tomfoolery in football, you can contact us on any of the socials. So good luck, peace out, good day, good night, good morning, and I'm going to go watch the end of this football match that's on the Duran television.
Right now.
I'm going to go and watch the ticker tape for the rest of the